Okay, this is just a part two or a follow-up to the previous video on this conversion. This is the machine that is being saved. This was the Hydrostatic MTD Mastercraft, whatever you want to call it. This is the parts machine. It was originally labeled as a white, but it's the same frame, same setup as an MTD or Mastercraft, whatever, like I said, whatever you want to call it. Just looking at the differences in the actual frame and what might need to be changed over and what will need to be changed over. Here is the Very Drive. It is not stuck. I don't know about the actual internal pieces of the actual clutch itself. Here is your secondary clutch. It's also not stuck. Nice thing on these, they do use for the most part a metal pulley. I'm just looking over, seeing what we'll have to go over to the other chassis, and from the looks of it, I'm gonna have to actually replace and bring over the actual brake. So if you look on this one right here, it's a little bit different. Primarily right back here where it has the cam that would actually run the brakes and run the actual Very Drive. So that's going to have to get changed over. So what I'm going to have to do on this machine here is gut everything out except for the mower. I don't really want to take any of that apart because I don't want to forget where it goes back in. The plan is when I take something off of that machine there, it's going to come off of there and go onto here immediately. So I can gut everything off of this machine right here. This is the machine that's being put back together. I can take everything off of this and get it ready. So I go to take off the pedals. I'll take the pedals off, put them onto the new one. Take the Very Drive off, put it onto the new one, and so on and so on. I've replaced rear ends in these before, so I'm not too bad on that, but I just don't want to mess up this linkage right here, this linkage right here, and this linkage right here. Those are the three main linkages that go from the pedal assembly to the transmission, to the Very Drive, and to the brakes. So two technically go to the transmission. This one right here, and this one right here, and this one right here goes to your Very Drive. So also on here, where the Very Drive bolts up, it's actually going to bolt up right here. These two bolts right here and here. That's where it's going to end up bolting to. So it's not an easy swap out, swap in. It is a little bit involved, but this is cut out for a Very Drive right in here, back in here. So it is circularly cut, as you can see on here as well. It's a little bit bigger on here, but I don't think I'm going to have any issues when it comes to that swapping over. So, and here is the F&R transmission right there. I know a lot of people hate them. As long as you get the belts right and as long as you get everything lined up correctly, they'll actually work reasonably well. These belts appear from first glance to be in usable condition. I will definitely use them, and we'll go from there. If I have issues down the road with them, if it's slipping them too much, I will end up replacing them. But if they're still okay and still look reasonable, why not use them? So both of these machines are just going to stay like this for right now, so I can swap parts from this machine to the other machine. I did originally want to do this in the garage, but I'm dealing with some fairly high tension springs in here. This one right here is the main one. So once that transmission comes out, that spring is going to have a lot of tension on it, and that also goes to the Very Drive. So either remove the transmission or remove the Very Drive. Most likely I'll remove the front pedals, then the Very Drive, then the transmission. So as you can see, the tires are off on this. I got them stored out back. They're in reasonably good condition. The front two do have some wear on them, but they're not bad, so I will hopefully be able to reuse them. Nice thing is this is an unboltable clutch, because again, like I said, these machines are designed to be either hydrostatic or a Very Drive. The Craftsman's, when you're working on them, the actual clutch stays the same between the hydrostatics and the gear drive. All that's different on them is obviously the transmission and the shifter, and that's a removable assembly in the back. But on them, the actual clutch isn't necessarily removable. It's basically built into the actual machine. It's put in the factory and it's welded on the one end with bushings. So there's where we're at on this. I'm done on it right now, and next step will be is to gut the rest of the stuff out of this machine here and get ready to move the drive line from the parts machine over to the good machine. So I'll talk to them later. Please keep redneck like always, and please prime comment.